Alright, this is Vegeta8259 again, and it is finally time to, not really review, but just kind of show off my custom Master Grade Crossbone Gundam X2 that I've been working on for the past week. And it is finally finished, and I have to say I'm pretty pleased with the way it turned out. I want to do a 360. I should have brought my display turntable that I just bought. It's kind of a waste buying it and then not using it. Anyway, so yeah, as you can see, it's more or less Crossbone Gundam, just in a much darker color scheme. However, there are a few differences. Basically, to make a Crossbone X2, you're going to need four things actually. The first is obviously a Master Grade Crossbone Gundam. The second thing you're going to need is a shot lance, and Bandai does not make a plastic version of this shot lance. This lance doesn't come with the full cloth Master Grade. This is a resin shot lance I got from Tatsuhabi. You can get it from other places, but it's kind of hard to find. In fact, it took me a while to find this one. I was clued in on it by a member at Gundam Eclipse. But I finally found it. I actually kind of made a deal with myself where I said if I find a resin shot lance, then I'll buy a Crossbone to make a X2. And once you know it, I found a shot lance, so I made an X2. So anyway, the second thing you're going to need is a resin shot lance. The third thing you're going to need is a decal set. These are decals from SamuelDecal.com, which is a site I use quite often. Basically, it's just a all-white version of the Crossbone Gundam Verka decals, because all of those red decals that come with the original kit aren't going to show up on this black and dark blue paint job. So you're going to need white, unless you don't dig decals, in which case you could just leave it blank. That's perfectly acceptable. And the fourth thing you're going to need, you actually can't get, is you're going to need to modify the Vfan, because X2 does have a different Vfan than the Crossbone Gundam. And it actually kind of puzzles me that nobody has made a real Crossbone X2 conversion kit. This shot lance is pretty much the only thing you're going to find out there. I mean, you'd think it would be pretty easy to make a conversion kit and just bundle the shot lance, the decals, and the Vfan in together, and I mean, it wouldn't be very expensive at all. And you'd probably have a lot of people buying it, but I don't know of one that's been made. So anyway, you're going to have to do the Vfan yourself, unfortunately. Let's see. The colors I used, a lot of times the X2 is just going to be in one main color, either dark blue or black. I actually used a combination of both. I used dark blue for all the parts that would have been white on the Crossbone Gundam, and left the black parts black. It's like these tops of the shoulders and the torso, that's still black. That was black on the original Crossbone, and I just changed all the white parts to dark blue, all the red parts to purple, and all the yellow parts and white parts are still yellow and white. And I lightened up the inner frame as well. It was originally like a kind of a medium gray, and I lightened that up to a pretty light gray just so it would stand out a lot better against the dark armor. Let's see, I also painted the weapons, the giant beam sword and the buster gun, and of course they still transform and combine together pretty nicely, like so. There you go. Got a fluorescent pink for the camera in there. I also painted the eyes fluorescent pink. And let's see what else. Here's the box that the shot lance came in. As you can see, it's pretty small and pretty simple. Again, that was from Tatsuhabi. I think it was like $12. It wasn't a very good recast. I had to do a lot of cleaning up, and I actually had to boil up some water and put some of these parts in there so that I could bend them back into shape because they were kind of warped. But with a little bit elbow grease, the shot lance from Tattoo Hobby can look pretty nice. Let's see, did I have any trouble with the decals? I don't think so. This decal on the chest is definitely going to need some Decal Setter solution, or Mr. Mark softer is what I used. Because, I mean, this chest piece is curved, it's basically a dome, and you're really going to need some kind of decal setting solution to get that to wrap around that curve. For the Vfan, I basically just used sheet plastic, glued it all together, and then painted it yellow. I kind of like the design I went with, but the execution I think I could have done a little bit better. Not sure if it's showing up on camera or not, but it just looks kind of rough. I probably should have put a little bit more effort into it. Let's see, I feel like I'm forgetting something. I always feel like I'm forgetting something when I review a kit. A lot of people on Gundam Eclipse have asked me about the shade of purple I used. And this is it right here, Krylon Outdoor Spaces, and the color is called Grape, and it's a very, very bright purple. I got this at Walmart, and I actually originally bought it for use on my Master Grade Musha Mark II that I did a few months ago, and then when I got around to doing this guy, I said, oh, this will be the perfect purple to use on X2, so I did. And I guess that's about it for the standard X2. One last thing, this shot lance is really hard to get Crossbone Gundam to hold it. In fact, see, it just came loose. The only way I can get him to hold it is to really wedge his hand in there so that his hand is actually pinned between the handle and the shot lance, so he's not really holding on to the handle, it's just kind of stuck in there. But there are no weight issues with it, especially after you paint a kit. It's really going to stiffen up the joints, but he holds it just fine as long as you get that hand pinned between the handle and the shot lance. Other than that, it's going to be held pretty loose. So anyway, I guess that about does it for showing off the standard X2. Now we can go ahead and take a look at the clear parts. And as promised earlier, back in the Crossbone review, here are the clear parts that you get with the 30th anniversary version. Now, one question that I actually get quite a lot is some people seem to be confused about the 30th anniversary versions with the clear parts. You do get all of the original parts for the model kit. The clear parts are just a bonus. So I've had some people ask me that if you only get the clear parts for that runner that comes in clear, but the answer is no. You will actually get two runners. One will be the normal colors, and then one will be in clear. So you do get a complete model kit with the clear parts added onto that as a bonus. And for the Crossbone's clear parts, you actually get quite a bit. Pretty much all of the armor on the legs, with the exception of the feet here at the bottom, is going to be in clear. As well as some of the arm. The shoulder armor is not clear, but you get the upper arm and the lower arm, with the exception of the purple part again, is going to be in clear. Even the part for the beam brand is in clear. And all four of the crossbone thrusters are in clear as well, with the exception of this gray stuff back here, of course. So it's actually quite nice. It's a bit more than what you usually get with the 30th anniversary kits. Like, for example, Master Grade Sazabi, you only get like some clear parts for his lower legs, and it's kind of a letdown, actually. So anyway, yeah, this is pretty much just the clear parts, just to let you guys see those. Alright, and of course, here is the Crossbone Gundam X2 Full Cloth version. And basically for the full cloth, I did the same thing as with the rest of the mobile suit. Just transferred the X1 colors into X2 colors. And I think it actually came out pretty nice. Let's see, basically these black parts on the outside stayed the same, and then the red parts on the inside changed to that bright purple that I used, and then of course the yellow parts are the same. The gray is a little bit lighter, just like I did with the inner frame. I left the skulls white though. I just thought that they would stand out a lot better if I kept them white, and I don't know, just the thought of having the skulls in dark blue just seemed off to me, so I just left them white. I think they look better that way. And yeah, I can't really say that it stays on any better because of the paint job, because when you paint a kit it tends to stiffen it up a little bit, but I think the way that the full cloth is attached feels pretty much the same as it did before I painted it. The decals that I used for X2 I got from Samuel Decal. Those didn't include decals for the full cloth, so I just had to scavenge some of these from leftovers that I had in a box under my bed. Unfortunately, all of the decals on this entire kit turned out perfectly except for one. This decal right here on the front of the full cloth had to go and screw up. It's probably going to be too blurry for you to tell, but it just got all like cloudy and just basically turned white. And every other decal on the entire kit is fine except that one decal screwed up. So that kind of made me mad. But honestly, I'm probably going to be displaying this guy without the full cloth, so I can't really be too angry about it. Let's move him over. I did paint the Peacock Smasher in X2 colors. Basically just went with a light gray for the main body, did some darker gray in few little bits, and some silver here and there, put a few little red decals on there, and then did all of the little barrels for the beam cannons in dark blue like the X2, and painted all the insides yellow like they're supposed to be. This thing was the hardest part of this entire project to paint. This thing was a pain in the butt to paint. If you're painting it by hand, it's still going to be a pain in the butt. But I used masking tape and I was spraying all of these colors on here, and man, it was really a pain. Basically, the only thing I didn't spray was this little dark silver gunmetal bit in the middle of the yellow piece there. All of the rest, the blue, the gray, the yellow, I spray painted all that and used masking tape, and boy, it took me forever. So, anyway, let's see, the other weapon. I did not paint the Muramasa blaster, basically because I'm going to be using it for a potential Crossbone X3. Now, I'm not going to be doing it anytime soon because I don't have another Crossbone Gundam to use, but sometime in the future I may want to buy another Crossbone Verka and do an X3, just like I did an X2 here, in which case I'll be needing this, so I didn't paint this in X2 colors. So I guess that about does it for my non-review of the Crossbone Gundam X2. I actually really like the way this project turned out. There were a few instances where I thought that it wasn't going to turn out very good. Of course, then again, that usually happens to me with every model kit I do. My only regret for this kit is that the Vfan didn't turn out as good as I would have liked. I like the idea that I went with, but the execution was just a little bit off. The edges are just a little too rough for my taste. But anyway, other than that, I think I'm really pleased with it. I think that this is pretty much what Bandai's X2 would look like if they would hurry up and release one. I'm surprised they haven't done it already. So anyway, yeah. I guess that about does it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time.